Today we're going to do Daf Yud Amud Aleph. We're going to speak about different cases of different fakes, different doubts that occur after someone checked his house for chametz. The main doubt that the Gemara speaks about is cases of mice, which in those days was a big problem. That if someone has a mouse, that after he checked his house, a mouse goes into his house with a piece of bread. What do we do now? So Gemara is going through different scenarios of mice going into houses that were checked and bringing different prices, different mishnahs that would answer the question to our case. So the last case we brought was a case of two bundles of chametz, two bundles, one bundle of matzah, one bundle of chametz, and we had two houses. One house was checked, one house wasn't checked, and the two mice came and took both bundles, and they each went into one of the houses, and we don't know if the house, if the mice with the chametz went into the house that was checked, or the mouse with the chametz went into the house that wasn't checked. And obviously that would be enough kamina if we have to recheck the house again. And the Gemara brought a brayso that said that if you have the same case with truma, meaning you have two bundles of one bundle of truma, one bundle of chulin, and you have another bundle, another stash of one bundle of truma, one bundle of chulin, and both bundles fell into the two bundles, and we don't know if the truma fell into the truma, so therefore everything's truma, or if the truma fell into the chulin, and now the chulin will not become truma. And the din was, we said that we assume that the truma fell into the truma and the chulin fell into the chulin. So the Gemara says, right at the bottom of the Testament base, when do we assume that the truma fell into the truma and the chulin fell into the chulin? But truma the rabbanon. That's nowadays that truma is on the rabbanon. And the din is that Safik the Rabbanon is the Kulin. So Rabbanon assume that the Truma fell into the Truma and the Chametz and the Chulin fell into the Chulin. Or in our case, the mice that had Chametz went into the house that wasn't checked, and the mouse that had Matzah went to the house that was checked already, and therefore you don't have to check the house that was checked already again. But that's all the case that Truma, you bring a proof from Truma, which is now this Rabbanon. The Raisa, I'm going to get to Dinim the Raisa. Do we say Safik with Kula? We're talking about right now about Bikas Chametz. And Bikas Chametz is Deraisa. How do we know Bikas Chametz? Is Bikas Chametz Deraisa? Bikas Chametz is Rabban. How do we know Bikas Chametz is Rabban? Because with Deraisa, Bitul Ba'amos Agnes, top of it, with Deraisa, you don't have to check your house for Chametz. You could just mivata all the Chametz in your house, and that's it. Rabban or Chesed, you're going to find the Danish inside your house, which you're not going to mivata, and you're going to want to eat it on Pesach. Or you're going to want to keep it, and then you're going to be able to Rabbanon say you have to check your house. And with the Deraisa, you have to check your house. So therefore, in our cases, the Rabbanon can assume that the mouse with the chametz went into the house that wasn't checked yet. So you anyway have to check the house again. And the mouse that had matzah went into the house that was checked, and therefore you do not have to check the checked house again. Now I think Gemara is going to bring a new case of sibur echad shel chametz ulafan v'shnei batim. Until now we spoke about cases that we had two bundles, one with matzah and one with chametz. Now we're speaking about you have one bundle of chametz. And in front of this bundle you have two houses, which are both checked. The problem is we saw a mouse took the chametz. We don't know which house he went into. So now we have a suffix which house he went into. And obviously the house that he went into would now have to be rechecked for chametz. What do we do? So now you have Reuben and Shimon, and they both saw a mouse, and they don't know if the mouse came into their house or went into the neighbor's house. They both come to the Rabbi Erev Pesach and ask them if they have to check the house again. Says the Gemara, we can compare this din to a case of Shnei Shvilim. This is a very famous case. It's a Mishnah. The Mishnah says like this. It's not. It's a Mishnah in Tavis. It says like this. Shnei Shvilim, if you have two alleyways, one next to each other. Echad Tameh, the Echad Tar. One alleyway is Tameh because it has a mess buried inside. The Echad Tar, one alleyway is Tar. One alleyway is Tameh, one alleyway is Tar. You have one person who went into one of the alleyways, went through one of the alleyways, and he didn't know which one he went into. He went through, and then he went back home. He touched a whole bunch of Tardik food. Then, a few minutes later, his friend came. He went into alleyway number one. His friend went through alleyway number two. And his friend also. His friend went home and touched things which are Tardik. Now, they both come to the Rav, and they want to know what to do. Because one of them is for sure Tommy. We don't know which one. So Rabbi Yehuda says like this: if they both come to the Rav in different times, meaning one comes on Sunday, let's say one comes on Monday. So the Rav would tell them both that they Torah. Why? Because when Reuven comes to Beis Din and he asks if he's Tamei, the Rav's going to say that the alleyway you went into is Torah, and the other one is Tamei, so you're good. When his friend comes into Beis Din, the Rav's going to say that the alleyway you went into Torah, and you went through Torah, the other alleyway is Tamei. So each one we rely on the other alleyway is Tamei. But if they come Shneim Basachas, if they come to Beis Din at the same time, so now Beis Din can't tell both of them that the other alleyway is Tamei, because you have his friend is standing right next to him. So if Beis Din are for sure going to say, if Beis Din are going to tell them rely that the other one is Tamei, so then they can't tell his friend that he's tired. So in the case that they both show up to Beis Din together, they're both Tamei, because Beis Din can't say out their mouth that both Tamei if we know for a fact they're both Tamei. If they both come different times, so we could lie that the other one is Tamei. When the other one comes, we can say the other guy is Tamei. But over here, they both come at the same time, so you can't do that. That's Tanakam shit. Rabbi shit. Basically says, in every case, they come to Tamei. Say if they ask together, or say if they ask separate. Amar Rabbi said, some people say that was Rabbi Yechanan. That we touched the mission like this. So that's the mission like this. Rabbi translates the mission like this. If they come together, everyone agrees. Side of Yehuda, side of Yesi, everyone agrees that Tamei. If they come to Beis Din and ask together, are we tied? Beis Din will have to tell them they're both Tamei, because we can't tell them, even though only one of them is Tamei, we don't know which one, so we say that they're both Tamei. If they come separately, meaning one comes on Monday, one comes on Tuesday, everyone agrees that they're tied, because we rely that the other one is Tamei. So what is the argument between Rabbi and Yehuda? The machlekes of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi starts when one of them, that's the Reuven, comes to Beis Din and he asks the din. He wants to know if he's Tamei, and he's also saying, by the way, my friend sent me on a shlichus to find out if my friend is Tamei. So we have one person over here. He's asking for two people, for him and for his friend who went into the other alleyway. So then comes the machlekes. What's machlekes? Basi says that if one person comes to Beis Din and asks about him and his friend, it's the same din as two people come to Beis Din together. What's the difference if he comes and asks for him and his friend, or his friend shows up himself? Both cases, he's asking for two people, and Beis Din can't lie and say that they're both tied. So therefore, Rabbi says that they're both tied. Rabbi says they're both tied. Rabbi says no, that if only one person comes to Beis Din, we compare this to Lazach. It's as if two people come to Beis Din one after each other. Why? Because he's not over here in this case. Beis Din aren't going to tell him befedish that he's tired and his friend is tired. All Beis Din are going to say that he's tired, and then he's going to have to figure out himself that his friend is tired. He's going to understand himself that his friend is tired. So too regarding din of chametz. We have a mouse that took a bundle of chametz and he went in front of two houses. We don't know which house he went into. Both houses were checked. If they're going to come together, meaning these two people are going to come Erev Pesach to the Rav and ask them if the chametz, if the house is tamei, if the house has to be checked. If they come together, the Rav's going to have to tell them that you both have to check your houses. If they come one after each other, then the Rav's going to tell each one you don't have to check your house, because we rely the mouse went into the other one. If they're going to come, if one of them is going to ask for the other one, then the machlekes of Yehuda and Rabbi, according to Rabbi, that they're both going to have to check the house. Shane according to Yehuda, with the one who asks, then he doesn't have to check his house, but then for his friend, he's going to have to check his house. So that was that case. The Gemara now brings a fourth case of a mouse taking chametz. What if you have a bundle of chametz? We saw a mouse take the chametz. Safik al, safik lo al. We didn't see him going into a house. We saw him hanging around next to the house. There's one house over here. And we don't know if he went into the house or not. We just saw him hanging around. We don't know if he actually went into the house or not. So safik, what do? Says the Gemara, Hainu bika. We can compare this case to the din of bika. What's the din of bika? Look to the Rabbi, now we learn the Mishnah again in Tarais. It says like this: someone goes into a bika. Bika is like a valley, which in the valley had a valley with hundred fields, and in the valley he went in the tumah, other place, and he had this tumah. There's a cave there. There's a cave there, in a certain field in the valley. I went into this plain of fields, when I went into this park, let's say. I don't know if I went into this specific field or not. He's not sure. So that's Machlekes Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Eliezer and Chacham. Rabbi Eliezer Matari, Rabbi Eliezer, he's tired. If he doesn't know which field he went into, even though he went into the area of the field, since he doesn't know which field he went into, he's tired. Chacham Matari, Chacham to say he's tired. What's Rabbi Eliezer reasoning that he's tired? Shahari Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Eliezer says, Safik Bia, tired. Safik Magatoma, tired. If you have a Safik, if you came into a place of Tumah, then it's tired. On the other hand, if you know that you went into the actual field that's tummy, but you have a Safik if you touched the cave or not, then you're tummy. That's Rabbi Eliezer shita regarding tumah. So in our case also, you have a mouse that's hanging around the area in front of a. You have a mouse that's hanging, has a piece of chametz in his mouth, and it's hanging around the area of the houses, but you don't know if you went into the house or not. So that's similar to a case of someone who doesn't know if you went into the field that's tummy or not. So therefore, according to Rabbi Eliezer, will be tired. And in our case, by chametz, according to Rabbi Eliezer, you will not have to check the house. According to Chachamim, if you have a suffix, if you went into an area or not, it's counted as a suffix, and therefore you be chayiv to check the house again. That's case number 4. Gemara brings one last case number 5. I think there's another case after this. All ubadak. The mouse took the chametz, and then the mouse went into the house, and he went into the house. Now that we saw him going to the house, we said before he's chayiv to check. So let's call him Reuven, went into the house. He checked the whole house. He never found any chametz. What do we do now? So this case would be a machlekes of Rabbi and Rabban. What's the case? That now, and learn the Mishnah, it says in the Gemara Nida. Rabbi would say, "Kol davar shebecheskas tuma le'olam u'tumase ad shivad lecha tuma hechoni." Anything which has a chazaka, has a status of tuma, it never goes out of that status unless you know for sure that the tumah left. For example, our case, the house that had chametz inside, it never goes out of the status of the house that has chametz unless you find the chametz. That's a real shita. Chacham says, no, beidik, you don't have to flip over the whole house. Beidik atcher magia l'sela l'karka regarding tumah. You just have to dig until you come to fresh ground. When you come to ground that was never, you could see it was never dug before. And if you don't find any bones over there, then it's time. So Chacham say, you have to do your best to check. And after you check, it's fine. So in our case, regarding chametz, you have to do your best to check the house. After you check the house, then if you didn't find chametz, it's not there. Now in machlekes, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi and Chacham. Next case. I think this is the last case. All the bodak. If he goes into, what if the mouse took a piece of chametz? He went into a house, and the person ran after the mouse, and he checked the house. And he found chametz. The question is this the chametz that the mouse took into the house? Or maybe it's another piece of chametz that was there before already. So what's the din? So the din is like this. Put to the Rabbi, Rashbak. It's machlekes of Rabbi and the Shimon Gamliel. The Tanya, learning a brayso, that should never buck heaven. If you have a field, you had a dead body which was lost in the field, meaning you plowed the field, and somehow the bones got lost in the field. So if someone goes into the field, Tame is Tame straight away, because we know for sure that in this field there's tumah. What if you search for the field, you search through the field and you found where the dead body was? If you go inside the field, you're tired. Why are you tired? Because I say, the cave that got lost, who kever. This is the cave that was found. So if you found the cave in the field, Mistam was the cave that got lost. That's the Rabbi Shita. So in our case regarding chametz, since you found a piece of bread, Mistam, that was a piece of bread that the mouse ate. The mouse brought into the house. Shimon Gamliel says no. You have to check the whole house again until you find. You have to check the house again. or in the case of the field, you have to check the whole field again. So now, because regarding the chametz, even if you found a piece of bread, it doesn't help. Maybe this is a different piece of bread. Since maybe this is a different piece of bread, so you're gonna have to check it again for the piece of bread that the mouse found. The mouse had. Another case, if you put 9 pieces of chametz after because chametz, and then you woke up in the morning, you found 10 pieces. So now you found the extra piece. The question is like this: do we say that since there's the 9 pieces, someone came and added an extra piece, only 1 piece, so therefore you're fine? Or do we say that the 9 pieces that you put are gone? Someone took them and they're scattered all over the house, and these 10 pieces is a new bundle of chametz. Because why is there 10 pieces? So that's machlekes. Talk to the Rabbi machlekes Rabbi Tanya. You learn Rabbi niach moneh umatza masayim chum. If you have a money of if you have let's say $100 bill of meiser, and you left it in your dining room. The next morning you wake up, you find 2 bills, $200 bills. You left 1, you found 2. Question is, what do I do with this money? Is the money chulin or the money is meiser? So then that's machlekes Rabbi about chulin. Rabbi says chulin and meiser shenim urav zebezeh. Rabbi says it's chulin and meiser shenim mixed with each other. Why is the chulin and meiser shenim mixed with each other? Because one of them is chulin, and someone else for some reason came and added an extra $100 bill, which would be meiser. Sorry, the one you left is meiser, and someone came and added extra bill, which is chulin. So you have one of the bills is meiser, one of the bills is chulin. Obviously, you don't know which one it is. They're both problems, but the one you left is meiser, and the one that someone added is chulin. That's Rabbi Shita. Rabbanan says, the whole thing is chulin. Why? Because why would you leave? If someone came to steal it, no one comes to add the extra $100 bill. If you find the extra $100 bill, so someone took the old one and he replaced it by a whole new bundle of money, and therefore the whole new bundle of money is no reason to assume that it's meiser, and therefore it's the whole thing is chulin. So regarding chametz also, if you put 9 pieces of chametz, you found the extra one. So according to Rabbi, we're now going to say that there's chametz and matzah. There's chametz. There's according to Rabbi, we're going to say that the bundle that you left is the same bundle that's there. Okay, and according to Rabbanan, the bundle that you left is not here anymore. We're scattered all over the place, and therefore you're going to have to check your house again because the bundle that's here now is a different bundle. One more case. What is faket? He said that he left 9 pieces and he found 10. What if he left 10 pieces and he found 9 pieces? And now there's one missing. So the Gemara says, "Hainu Seifa." That's the hemshach of that brisa that we just quoted before. The hemshach of that brisa says like this: Tanya, we learned in the brisa we just quoted before. If someone leaves $200, 200 pounds, a matzah, and instead he woke up in the morning, he found one missing. He only found 100. So Rabbi says, "Mana munach or mana mutar." Very simple. He found 100. So there's one money, the money which is you found, the $100 bill which you found is the same $100 bill you put yesterday, and you put $200 bills yesterday. So one of them is missing. That's Rabbi Shita. So now, because Rabbi Chametz, you found 9 pieces. So once someone came and took one of the pieces, so you only have to search for one piece of Chametz. If you Rabbi, Chametz says no. Hakel cholin. The whole thing is cholin. The whole thing, all the money that's left on the table. Since you left 100, you left 200. Now you only found 1. So the person who stole it, or the mouse who stole it, didn't only take 1 piece; he took everything. And the reason why you're finding one bill now because he replaced it by another bill. So therefore, in our case, you would have to go and check instead of checking the house now for 1 piece of chametz, you're gonna have to check the house now for 9 pieces of chametz because all the pieces are missing. Because the pieces that are here now is a new stash of chametz, and therefore you're gonna have to check the house again. Okay, that's the end of Daf Yud Amud Aleph. I'm gonna stop over here. I'm gonna continue on the Daf Yud Amud Beis. Any questions? If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to ask questions.